Hey guys, Mark from Oregon Bushcraft. Today I am seam sealing a tarp, so I wanted to bring you guys along for the ride and just show you how I do it. This is a 70D polyurethane coated ripstop nylon. It's DWR finish on one side and polyurethane coated on the other. So the back side is the Coyote and the front part is the Marpat. I put nylon webbing loops on all the corners and in the middle, and yeah, so now I just need to go through and seam seal all the stitches. The center is reinforced, so super strong, but I need to get a couple coats of sealer on there to fill in all those pinholes I made when I was sewing it. So I put one coat on, let it dry. I'm using an Aquaseal seam sealer. This stuff works great. It's got a foam applicator brush on the top that after a while does kind of get a little pilly. Just take a little razor blade and trim them off, which seems to fix the problem. But the stuff is very thin. As you can see, it just drips out and it stays wet. You don't really have to squeeze it to get the juice out. I find that setting it up like this to apply the seam sealer is what works best for me. So I'm just going to go through and make another pass here so you can see how I do it. Now on the ends where I've got webbing, I will actually squeeze the bottle and get a bunch of that seam sealer out, just to really soak into the webbing like that, so it's well impregnated, and it'll dry out in probably 5 or 10 minutes. It doesn't take long at all. This one may take a little longer just because it's so soaked. So let's get back over here to this side. I'm going to do the same thing with this loop. Just soak it up really good. And then just paint it down the seam. Making sure that everything gets nice and saturated. And that's it for that half. Ooh, went a little crazy. So as you can see here, this is where some of it ran down, and it's still a little wet, but it will color your material slightly. This will dry up and you won't be able to see it as much, but it does a really good job of soaking into the fabric and really sealing everything off. What I did was I set this to tension, you know, that way all the little holes expand. Then do a couple coats of the seam sealer, let it sit for a while, probably leave it up for an hour or so, just drying out, and then I'll go and start doing the edges. So this tarp is roughly a 9x9, and I made this tarp for Oregon Mike. He's been waiting for it for a while. I've had to move and replace some equipment, so I've been really backed up, but I've got this and a hammock and some whoopee slings, tree straps, toggles, all waiting for Mike to pick it up. So hopefully we can get together soon and I can get this delivered to him. I can see there's kind of a wet spot here. So what you can do is just take your finger and smooth that out if any of it builds up, like some built up on the on the edge right here. You can just take your finger and kind of smooth that out a little bit. And for this, I just threw some figure 9s through the loop, and then just ran some paracord off the tree, which works in a pinch. I'm gonna get back to work. I got lots of stuff to do. This is Mark from Oregon Bushcraft. We'll see you guys next time.